Hello students. So I'm posting this little video to show you essentially how you would be able to download and install R on your computers. And I will be doing this here on a Mac. And I'm very well aware that many of you may not use Mac as your primary OS, but maybe Windows users. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly fine. It's just a matter of preference, although I strongly prefer Mac. But that's a different conversation topic. But so I will be doing it and showing it here in Mac OS, which is an OS Catalina, and I think you shouldn't have any problems to install it, even an earlier version than that. The process should be fairly comparable with Windows. If there are any problems, please reach out to me immediately. We'll figure something out. We can go on a Zoom call, or we can find whatever other ways to resolve the problem. So I really want you to be up and started and hit running ground in first class. So just as a quick introductory thought, so basically R will be consisting out of two fragments. So component number one is R. R essentially is something that is software that in its original version is essentially S plus based software. It exists, so it's more Linux based. It can run on Linux. Consequently, it can run on Mac and it can run on Windows. So the way you basically find to R is by just googling download R. It will automatically bring you to the R project for statistical computing. And there you basically just click on download R. So here you have selections of download R for Mac and for Windows. You just click your respective OS and it brings you to this page. Here in this context, it's R for Mac. So essentially you just click the most latest version and you will be brought to this page. You click here the latest version, which is 4.02. Going to keep, actually, yeah, keep. And this will automatically download it in your downloads folder. So I have had downloaded it already before. So just click on it and it will open here this installer window. You basically just go and continue, continue. You read the license agreement. You make sure that you read the license agreement and you agree with it, otherwise you won't be able to install it. You install it on your main drive on which you want to install it, and you click continue and you install. So this usually you get them some form of prompt that you're actually entitled and have the administrator rights to install it. You just allow it to install and you're basically writing your files. So this is how simple an installation can happen. This shouldn't take that much time. And at that point, your R is being installed. So basically, this is the first component which you will need to install. So R is really the core. It's the engine of what you essentially program your work in. And so this is installed now. And this, you can move this to trash because this is just install the package. Over to trash. And now we're coming to the second component. So the second component is, so that's a little harder to explain. So when you have a, actually let me show you. So when you, that's the wrong one. So when you open R, you will have, this is R. So your R essentially is nothing else but this console. So this is version 4.02, which we have just installed, and this is from the R Foundation of Statistical Computing. It's an Apple version, and it's free software. and this makes it already very superior to all other softwares out there. It's free software, it's open source, you will have packages, and you will have so many opportunities with it that you don't have with other statistical softwares. So it's a collaborative project with many contributors. But enough about this. So you essentially just have this R console when you install R. So this is a little tedious to work with because it only gives you this little cursor down here, right? And this is not really enough. So you want more. You want something that's a little bit more user-friendly. And this is what we're going to install now. So we're going to download RStudio. RStudio was a consequence, and it was a group of our avid R programmer developers that basically got together and developed a compiling software, which is essentially a tool that integrates R and allows the use of R in a little bit more of a user-friendly kind of setting. So when you click on this link, so again, you Google download RStudio, and this is going to bring you exactly where you want to go. So you have all these links also in the file that I've uploaded, or in the post that I've posted. So you want the free RStudio desktop version. You don't want this desktop server version. This is something that is not relevant at this point in time. You just download the free RStudio desktop version and you download it. It will automatically recognize on what OS you're working. You just download RStudio for Mac. Gonna take a couple of minutes, but it essentially will automatically install. And I can cancel this download. So I just wanted to show you that, so because I have the very same file already downloaded here. So I'm downloading, and I'm starting now this downloaded version of RStudio. And RStudio is a very, very handy and efficient software. So essentially, you get then here this installation window. All the thing you have to do, you drag and drop it into applications, and it is at this point installed. So basically, you're replacing it. Suboptimal because now we need to close RStudio. So we're closing RStudio at this point, and this was before I opened it, and because I opened it before. So now we're just dragging and dropping that into R, placing it. And now you're copying basically RStudio as an application. Okay, so as a recap, we just open the package file. It opens this folder. You just have to copy this. Once this is copied, essentially you can then start it. And once you can start it, it will automatically recognize the R that you have installed. And you can just basically lean back and you wait until it's all started. So this warning essentially just warns you that it's an app that you recently downloaded from the internet. You just click on open, and it will open it right there. So now RStudio is now in complexity a little bit more complex than the R, but in a good way, in a very good way. Because now you will have the very same, we can upload the crash reports. So now essentially once you open your RStudio for the first time, you have here on the left bottom, you have basically your console. This is the console that you have seen before. On the left top, you have the so-called script. On the script, you're going to write your code. And I will post some sample code that you can play around, and you have done already some work in DataCamp. At least I hope some of you have started already. Here on the right top, we have the viewable environment. This is the environment. These are all the objects and data files that you have loaded. And on the right bottom, we have a list of files, plots, packages. Particular packages will be interesting. So a bit more about that in class. And well, we have now successfully installed RStudio. So this was the installation for Mac. If there are any problems installing it, reach out to me immediately. Post it to the discussion board. Probably even the better idea to post it to the discussion board. Now, in a second thought, I'm essentially going to put a thread into the discussion board, which will be very central to this class, and I will make heavy use of it. And you will also have to make use of it. It's going to be part of the grading, as you will see in the syllabus. And please post your problems. Post even good news. Post that you had no problems to install it. Just post it to the discussion board and let's have conversations about whatever issues you may have encountered or whatever good news you may have had. Also, if there are any problems with Windows, please reach out as well. I have not posted a video for the installation of Windows because I hope it's not necessary. If it's usually even more user-friendly on Windows than it is in Mac. If there are any problems, let me know. So I just repeat myself, first install the R, then install the RStudio is usually the easier way to go because RStudio will automatically recognize the R installation. So let's be in touch. Let me know if problems and hope all goes well with the installation. And see you in class. Bye-bye.